You're listening to Civic Media. You can tune into any of our live shows on any radio station across the state with the Civic Media app. Find us in your phone's app store and listen anytime, anywhere.
What's happening, Wisconsin? This is Raised in Wisco. I'm your host, Joel Clayfish, sitting alongside the cave-dwelling, mountain climbing, rock scaling, swimming, hunting, hiking, fishing, Danielle Fairman.
It sounds like my vacation coming up.
You're doing all that stuff on your vacation?
All that fly fishing for my first time. I'm so excited.
Wow, you've never fly fished
I have never
before.
fly fished. I have never gone horseback riding through the mountains. I have never gone clear bottom kayaking before. Ghost town touring.
Holy cow. Are you going with your boyfriend, Josh?
Negative. He is not joining. This is one of my good friends is getting married in Glacier. And I'm one of the bridesmaids.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Yeah, I'm beyond thrilled. I cannot wait.
Oh my gosh, Danielle, I can see it about you. Got a new job. You got a tan.
You got your hair done.
You got your hair and nails done. You are tan, rested, and ready. I'm just going to overlook the fact that you're wearing Crocs.
Oh, I love these babies.
Horrible.
I have two sets.
Absolutely horrible.
I have my rugged ones and my fancy ones.
I'm wearing mine next week when Danielle's gone.
Well, George won't be here, so you can wear yours next week.
George is
Folks,
here.
I actually love Crocs.
I don't understand what's happening.
You probably do, George.
Yeah.
You probably do.
I wear Crocs
George Ermert
every
is
day.
here. George
has Sperry's on, and they look really nice.
George does.
They have what?
George's
Sperry's.
Sperry's look very nice.
Sperry's.
Berries.
Berries.
I have no idea.
Sperry.
They look nice
It's a
on
brand. It's a brand of
nice.
top cider or dock cider shoe. Yeah, they're nice. They're very.
I wear
I
Crocs. I
agree.
have no
They're
idea.
very nice. George Ermert's here. He's he's on the board of the Wisconsin Waterfowl Association, and a frequent flyer to Raised in Wisco.
We
Always
love
happy to have
having you on.
Excited to be here.
Now,
Yes.
Jorge Ermert.
Jorge.
Jorge Ermert. That's actually how you pronounce it, right?
See.
So happy to have you along, George. And of course, the culinarian who, at the end of the day, makes all of us happy with her feasts.
And
Ellie
herself.
And
Just
herself.
her.
I don't-
Yes,
Just
and
her
in
being
general,
her.
yes, that's
Food
a fact.
is a cherry on top.
Joel wants to leave
That's
that
a
part
fact.
out right now.
Ellie Law.
I'm good with it. I'm
is
still
the
going to sleep great tonight.
Chefery.
There was a little, just so let cue everybody on what's going on, is that we all were bickering
Yes.
before the show. So
We were all bickering.
There's gonna
You
be
guys were
little
all
jabs throughout
If
the
you're
show.
watching-
teaming up on me.
If you're watching on Facebook, you will notice that Ellie Lawton, the chefery, the official chef of Raised in Wisco, is dressed substantially nicer than the rest
She
of
is.
us.
Okay, well, I can't help it. You guys didn't dress better.
Well,
I look nice.
I mean, George looked. He and I match.
George.
This is
looks
true. You
okay.
guys do.
Well,
If,
you
if
and
I'm going to
George-
come to Raised in Wisco, I'm going to bring my A game.
I can see that. The hair,
Yep.
not a hair out of place, George. George, if I didn't know better, every once in a while I might think that's a tooth. That's such perfectly placed hair you have.
It's
Are you
legit. It's
I-
jealous
the real
of his
deal.
hair?
Yeah,
Well,
it's.
am I
You
jealous
have
of
good
his hair?
hair. He
Yeah,
has
you
good
guys
hair.
both have good hair.
But am I jealous of his hair? Absolutely. Look at that.
It does
I mean,
look really
for a
nice.
man of 47 years old, that is some pretty fantastic hair.
Joel, if I was 47, I would take that as a compliment. But I'm not even 47 yet.
You don't know your best friend's
Slash?
age?
How
That's
old are you,
rude.
George?
I recently
You
turned...
just had your birthday.
Like 2 weeks ago,
Like
right?
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
46
birthday.
years old.
Wow.
Holy cow, you don't look a day older than 45 and a half, George.
And some would even say I act about 12.
Yeah, well, that's my standard go-to as far as acting my age.
You
It's
both have
about
that in
12.
common.
We definitely
We all have that in common.
And I think best friends should have that in common.
Yeah,
How
I
old
think
they
so.
act, so.
Let me tell
Oh.
you about my best friend.
Okay.
No? All right, good talk.
We're going to leave the music to the bumpers, Danielle.
I mean, all right.
Okay, we're in the middle of summer right now. This is what I call the doldrums of Wisconsin summer because it's the furthest you'll get away from hunting seasons. Your spring turkey's over, and you don't get to hunt until September 1st for the waterfowl. And so we're right smack dab in between the middle of the hunting seasons, which is tough for me. It really is. I'm not going to lie. I have a rough time getting myself together. And so what, George, I know you love to fish, and I think that is something that I should do more of. In fact, I'm considering even heading out to the East Coast to do a little fishing trip, maybe end
Wow.
of July, beginning of August. So I'm
That sounds
excited about
exciting.
that. Well, I'm going to put something together. I'm going to do it. I've never been to the East Coast proper. Been out to D.C. and Virginia, but I'm going to head out to the East Coast and maybe do some fishing out there.
Oh, that
Wow.
sounds very
And
exciting.
that
Sounds
brings
great.
me to my weekly Wisco, which is I went fishing this last weekend, and I had a great time. Caught some real nice bass, and that's always
Sweet.
funny.
Wow.
And if you are familiar with the old Saturday Night Live skit, the Bass-O-Matic 2000, I do not have one of those, so it was all catch
no,
and release.
you do not.
You don't have a Bass-O-Matic 2000, no. That skit was made famous by Dan Aykroyd a million years ago. But that's my weekly Wisco, is I went fishing, and I had a great time, and I'm planning to do more of it. So to get
Good.
me through to the waterfowl season. Danielle, what did you do? What's your weekly Wisco?
Well, you know, Joel, how you always say during the springtime or even fall time, scouting is your everyday situation that you do. Well, fishing is mine, except for this past weekend, because it was the 4th of July weekend, which I hope everybody had a wonderful, safe 4th of July. But the lakes were so crowded. So I found a nice little pond that I
Oh, wonderful.
use my Onyx Fish app that I've been talking about the past
Awesome.
couple weeks.
Awesome.
So that was nice. But my favorite part, not only was the 4th of July, but I made the best dessert.
What is it?
Wait, save it till the cooking segment.
I have another
Oh,
addition.
well-
for
Oh,
this.
you do?
Well,
Okay.
this was a 2 week ago thing that you did.
Oh, okay.
You inspired me.
Okay.
Well, let's hear it then.
Well, now I
So-
want to hear it.
How you were talking about the peaches, how
Yes.
you put the butter and the brown sugar, but instead of using the vanilla bean, I added a Danielle twist. And
What
as
was your
Joel
twist?
says that I like alcohol.
Oh, boy.
Wait a minute. Whoa. Well, let's slow down. I'm not the only one who says you like
Well,
alcohol.
everyone says that I like alcohol
It is
in
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
It is Wisconsin.
I added a couple bourbon,
Yeah,
some
wonderful.
Buffalo Trace bourbon, and I
Oh,
let
I
it
love
simmer.
Buffalo Trace. Yes. it's a
Oh
good
my
one.
goodness. And that was the most delicious thing. And then with
Wow.
the leftovers, because we ate all the ice cream and all the peach.
So did you do it on a griddle?
I did it in the Blackstone.
Yeah.
Oh, not the Blackstone. A cast iron on the
Ooh,
grill. 'Cause it
perfect.
was raining.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
But it was delicious. And then we used a couple extra peaches for milkshakes.
Danielle,
Peach
you keep
milkshake.
turning culinary corners.
I do.
It's so
Ooh,
wonderful.
Say that 5 times real fast. I like that. Turning culinary
But yeah,
corners.
so instead of the wonderful peach recipe that you did, I did with vanilla ice cream too.
Yes. Yeah.
Added some bourbon.
Oh, that's
And I made it
Delish.
so delicious.
Yes, and that sounds like a fantastic thing to do. Plus, even if you are a non-drinker like me, you don't have to be afraid of that recipe, because whenever you cook something, it burns off the alcohol and it still has the flavor of the
The
bourbon.
delicious
in it. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it sounds great. Jorge, what was your weekly Wisco?
Jorge.
George Ermert.
So I think we can all agree that Wisconsin probably is the best outdoor state in the country.
Agreed.
Yes,
yes.
agreed.
Of course.
And so for the 4th of July, I actually went south of the Wisconsin border,
Oh.
and I was in Illinois for a couple days.
Ooh,
We're sorry to hear that.
wait.
And I was doing a little recon. And what my trip did, reinforce to me was that one of the reasons that Wisconsin is so great is just because Illinois makes everything harder. We
Yes,
tried
Do tell.
they
we,
do.
we tried to go to Lake Michigan to a public beach on the 4th of July. Pull up, and they wouldn't let us park there
Oh,
because we weren't residents.
because you were from Wisconsin.
And we could still go there, but we were gonna have to drive. We were gonna have to drive to the train station, park at the train station, and then
Take a
walk
shuttle
probably
or-
15, 20 minutes to go to the beach.
Oh,
Now, is this like a
No.
Yellowstone kind of train station in Illinois?
I
or
don't
was
think
it a
was no,
legit
not-
train
it was a
station.
legit,
Yellow.
legit train station. But so we ended up not going. We're like, they're just making things too hard.
And you know the irony of that statement, right? If you go to a Wisconsin beach, more than half the cars parked there are going to have Illinois license
absolutely.
plates.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
But that's just, hey, Wisconsin is better.
Wisconsin is better. I will
I
point this
agree.
one thing out, though. If you take a look at the regulations governing hunting and fishing for Wisconsin, it's huge, real thick, tons of regulations. Illinois' book is very, very, very small. They have substantially fewer regulations to hunt and fish in Illinois, which to me is amazing, really. And I think if there's one thing and one thing only, and believe me, there's not much more than one thing that we should try to consider that Illinois does, it's to reduce our regulations for hunting and fishing in Wisconsin. But
Maybe they don't have many because all their people are up here.
that's true.
They don't need many.
All the big deer, all the waterfowl, all turkeys are
They
here
have fewer
anyway.
opportunities there. Their
Yes.
seasons are shorter.
Yeah.
Yes, they do have one heck of a migration pattern for Canada geese, though. I've done some pretty successful hunting in Illinois. Well, that's it. So your weekly Wisco is essentially coming back to Wisconsin.
Yes. Yes.
Welcome back.
It's good to have you, George.
Yes.
Oh, it's very good. Ellie Lawton, the chef of the show, what was your weekly Wisco?
Well, it was super hot. So I got up really early, packed the horse trailered out to one of our beautiful parks and rode horses.
Ooh,
Oh, that sounds
Yeah,
lovely.
it was
gosh,
wonderful.
that sounds like a the weekly Wisco that would top the charts. To be honest, a horse ride through the. Were you in the Kettle Moraine or?
I did the Eagle Trails. I forget what road it's on. I know how to get there, but I just don't know the roads.
Oh,
So sorry, I can't be very helpful there.
that's plenty
Out past
helpful.
Paradise Springs. If you know where Paradise
Oh,
Springs
yeah. I
is, it's
do.
out past, right past there. So rode
Okay.
on those trails. I noticed those trails have not been mowed in a long time. So the grass was very, very long, and it was like riding in a wild wilderness, which was beautiful.
Oh,
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Well, the bottom line here is there's even in the middle of summer, if you're listening to this show because you are a hunter, there's plenty to do in Wisconsin in the summer. And I want to talk about one thing that's really interesting to me. Nobody thinks of scouting for wild game in the summertime.
no.
Nobody thinks of it. But I will tell you, you're already seeing as soon as those turkeys get out of their strut in the spring, as soon as they're done strutting, they're already back into their groups, males together, hens together with the poults. And this is a real great time to start patterning turkeys. And I can't believe how many turkeys I'm seeing. Now, you really struggle to see them because this knee-high by the 4th of July corn is over my head already in some places.
Oh, yes.
But I have seen turkeys upon turkeys just in driving the country roads. When I go on a country drive, I've been seeing some turkeys all over the place and deer out during the day.
Oh,
yeah, a
all the
lot of deer
time.
moving during the day.
a lot
Yeah.
of fawn.
I've noticed.
Tons of spots everywhere.
And you can start right, and you're gonna see the bucks kind of intermingled with the does this time.
I
of
saw
year.
that today.
Yeah, which is also interesting to me because they're so not in breeding mode that they're kind of even hanging out together and they're substantially less territorial. What I find though is watch the does, because where the does are in the summer is where you're gonna still find them in the fall, and you won't find the bucks in those areas particularly, but then the rut comes and then that's where you find
Then
the
they
bucks
will be
as
there.
well.
So what I've noticed is I feel like the fawns were born later this year, and I feel as though the turkeys hatch later and the geese did as well. Do you guys agree?
I agree with that.
Yep.
I don't know why. I'm seeing a lot of small poults. Now I know that hens will have a second brood if those eggs are eaten or their poults are eaten. But I've seen a lot of tiny poults, which is going to make for an interesting turkey hunting season
Yeah.
this fall. I am really excited because we're going to do dishes for summertime barbecues. We're all going to give ours, and Chefery Ellie Lawton's going to take us through her awesome recipe for the week. This is Raised in Wisco.
You're listening to Civic Media. Stay up to date on the latest news and information for your local community and Wisconsin by signing up for our free email newsletter. Visit civicmedia.us/email to get started.
Raised in Wisco is your one-stop shop for everything in the great outdoors of the great state of Wisconsin, from hunting to fishing to hiking to camping. My name is Joel Clayfish. I'm a lifelong resident of this state, new to hunting. At age 38, I started. Fisherman my whole life, but there is definitely something I've done my entire life, and that is eat. I have been an eater.
You don't say.
It's that obvious.
Oh,
Ouch.
dang.
No, I mean like we all
Do you want me
eat,
to get
otherwise
that-
we'd
do
be
you want me to get that
dead.
knife out of your back, or
That is not what I said.
she just called you. You
No,
know,
I didn't.
chonky.
Listen, that is George. Chime in here, please. That is not what I said. I said you don't say because we'd all be dead if we didn't eat.
Oh,
Everybody's
my
laughing.
goodness.
They
You guys are just killing me tonight.
Because we love you.
Is it because I didn't bring
We're
food?
not saying.
Are you attacking me because I'm not feeding you tonight?
We're all hangry.
Hey, we didn't show up in our Sunday best and start ripping on people.
Oh, I really hope
This
everybody
is not
watching
my
right
Sunday
now.
best.
Okay.
Gosh, it's like you guys don't even know me.
Gosh,
Gosh.
I caught you a delicious bass. Gosh. Raised in
What?
Wisco.
We're just
Napoleon
going. We're just going past
It's
that.
Napoleon
Napoleon
Dynamite.
Dynamite.
Hey,
line from
Joel,
Napoleon
I'm
Dynamite.
sorry that you think that I called you chunky. I did
no.
not, though.
Maybe we should talk about it for this segment. It's okay. It's not something I struggle with.
Ellie, say sorry right now.
I said I'm sorry. I'm honestly not,
Chef
though, you guys.
Lawton.
I'm not going to lie. I'm not sorry because I didn't mean it like that.
Chef Lawton makes some of the best food that
Yes.
we've eaten. And we
Oh,
have the
thanks.
fortune of eating on this show quite a bit. And I'm kind of excited because for tonight's show, we're going to be talking about each one of our favorite things to bring to a barbecue. It's the middle of summer. There's no better thing to talk about than the summer barbecue. We just
Yeah,
had
yum.
the 4th of July weekend, which is fantastic. And if you listen to this show and you listen to some of the recipes we talk about, many of them are very simple, but exquisitely delicious. I mean, unbelievably delicious, but it's a way to really up your game for the barbecue. So we're going to do parts of these in each of the segments because I just think it's something that's super exciting. Folks, get out a pen and paper. Does anybody do that anymore? No.
I do.
I do.
Okay, I do too. Open the notes section of your iPhone because you got to write down what we're going to talk about tonight because we're going to have some great things to bring to a barbecue. And we're going to talk about wild game versions of those. And one of the beauties that we also make sure you know is that any wild game protein we ever talk about can be substituted for something purchased in the store.
Certainly.
So you can hit the Piggly Wiggly, the Pick and Save, the New Market, and you can buy whatever you like as your protein and fit it into these recipes. So don't be shy. Don't be afraid. Hit us up on Facebook. First of all, watch us on Facebook live. If you miss it, Danielle, where can you see the show?
You can see the show on YouTube. But when you're on Facebook, please give us a like and leave a comment or message us. You can also listen on Spotify and Apple Music.
Yeah, Eric Tuckner, I know you're listening. You said you listen to the show. Anybody else out there who's listening and who hasn't liked the Facebook yet, get on there. I want to shout out to Megan Salazar. She is now the official Salazar of Facebook. So
She's the salad bar of Raised in
she's
Wisco.
the salad bar czar of Facebook for us. So
Thanks,
reach out.
Megan.
We're going to be updating that quite a bit. And we want to hear from you. So if you've got questions, we had some questions come in this past week about apparel, which I thought was pretty cool. And just to
that
let
was
you
pretty
folks
cool.
out there know,
Oh, yeah? Why do you say this?
Yeah.
Jorge?
I want to see the merch drop.
yeah, well,
when
you
is
know
the
what?
merch
It's going to
drop?
drop
it's
and
gonna,
we're
as
all
a
going to
matter
wear
of
it.
fact,
Yep.
I'm going to let you in on a little secret for
Ooh.
listeners out there. We have prototypes at the designer as we speak. So
Shut
we
up.
are- it's true.
We do.
So we're
Really?
hoping to get some raised in Wisco merch, raised in Wisco merch. Easy for me to say.
So you're just going to leave it there. Like that's just the tease. Like
That's
nothing
the
else.
Yeah.
tease.
Yeah.
That is
Wow.
the tease. But let's talk for just a minute about Danielle, what is
What?
your go-to when you go to
whoa.
a barbecue? What's your go-to when you go to a barbecue?
What?
What are you bringing and how do you make it?
What I love bringing to a barbecue is kebabs. I'm a kebab fan.
Love
Yes.
kebabs.
Yes, and you
Fantastic,
can put them
easy,
over
delicious.
anything. Mix a variety of any vegetables that you love, any protein that you love. But my sucker is pineapple. I love adding pineapple to pretty much anything.
I was going to
So-
say, put peaches on your next kebabs because
Oh.
it's so good.
I
Ooh.
absolutely will now.
Yes.
That is something I definitely don't think I would have thought of
Yeah.
putting on a kebab.
Kebab.
I'm sick.
Kebab.
I'm sorry, kebab. I sometimes it comes out kebab. That's what they call
That-
them. That is
yes.
what they call. That if you are at a truly Mediterranean place, they call them kebabs. And so it's
But if
hard
you're in
for me to say
Wisconsin, we just
It's
say
a
kebab.
I
It's
know
just
it's a
bob.
kebab.
Hey,
Yeah.
Bob.
I know.
Hey, Bob.
Hey,
Yeah.
Bob. I'll take a Bob.
Clearly, I have no problem eating kebabs or kebabs.
But yes, if I'm going to a barbecue, so anybody invite me, but I'm bringing pineapples, turkey most likely to go with the pineapple.
Ooh,
Some
wild
Jasper
turkey
nice.
or-
Yeah, some wild turkey, absolutely.
Oh, that sounds
The beverage or
fantastic.
the protein?
Both.
Got it.
Oh, wild turkey, the beverage and the protein from Danielle, that's for sure. Something that I hear folks talk about that I want to touch on in this next segment is getting into hunting and what are some of the options in Wisconsin, including hunting farms or whitetail farms or game preserves. I want to touch on that and see what the folks' thoughts are. This is Raised in Wisco. Hey, Raised in Wisco, your place to have a good laugh. That I can promise you. You're going to learn how to cook some fantastic food, foraging the great state of Wisconsin, how to take it from the outdoors and put it on your dinner table. And we are very fortunate because we have a certified French chef, a culinarian, if you will, Ellie Lawton, who joins us on the show every week. She's had fantastic meals for us here before the show, which I know I can say go extremely appreciated. And after
Except for
all,
tonight, and now I'm paying for it.
oh, everything's fine. Everything's fine. And one of the things that I'm excited to talk about today is the love for the barbecue. That is a real Wisconsin thing.
Yeah.
We drag the barbecue carts to our tailgates. Wisconsin is the most tailgating state in the country. So all of our sports events have food. We are a food-centric state. We have all the cultures here from around the world and have really fantastic food to make. And so as part of Raised in Wisco's duty, I think it is to share with the listeners what foods we like and easy ways to do it. And we're fortunate to have an expert with us that we can glean information from and try it. And I know Danielle, who is the sidekick with the mostest over here, he's been trying a lot of the recipes that we talk about on the show, and they've turned out fantastic for you, I've heard. And I'm excited. I'm gonna see what George's recipe. What's your go-to, George, to head to a Wisconsin barbecue?
I always like to bring burgers that I make myself.
You bring burgers. Now that's
Wow.
bold.
Yeah.
That's
That is
bold.
bold.
Because
Taking charge.
because burgers, that is that's a mainstay. That's a main course.
It is.
And if you mess that up, there's going to be some disappointment probably. Is there a lot of pressure when you bring burgers?
There can be for sure.
Is it a secret recipe?
No, it's not a secret.
Well, sure.
Well, do
I-
share.
Yeah, it's not a secret. But I like to make my own burgers, and I will either use ground beef or ground venison. Sometimes a mixture of both.
Yeah,
depending.
mixing them is great.
But I cut up some onion, cut up some garlic. I used Worcestershire sauce, an egg or two, some breadcrumbs. It's almost like a little.
It's like a meatloaf.
Yes, it's like a little meatloaf. Exactly.
Wow.
And
Oh,
I put,
George,
I,
you're my little meatloaf.
yeah, it's like a
Oh.
You now have a new name.
yeah, the little
Oh,
meatloaf.
the little
meatloaf.
meatloaf.
So cute.
But my good friend from high school and college actually gave me this recipe. He used to make it when we would have cookouts at his house, and I was like, "You got to share these burgers with me." So I've been making them ever since.
Wow.
And everybody loves them, so I always make those.
Nice.
Wow, that
Sure, they're
does-
delicious.
That sounds fantastic. We're going to save Chef Lawton's for a little bit later, but I'm going to talk about mine real quick because mine could be technically a main course. I guess you could call it a main course possibly, but it's also a sideline course. I love to make a gyro tower.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
a gyro tower on
What
the
is that?
grill.
Danielle and I have had
So
your hero
if you
tower.
have you ever had gyros?
Yes. What's a Euro tower?
Well, I kind of made it up, but Danielle and Ellie and Jess have been to Florida gator hunting, and when we get the alligator, it comes in strips. And I thought to myself, how could I turn this into a gyro? So I went and took a hanger out of my closet, and I fashioned the hanger into a spit. And I will soak the meat. And again, I don't know why you guys are laughing about this so much.
Doesn't matter.
So any strip of meat you can use. I use alligator. You can use venison. You can use strip steak. You can use any type of meat, lamb, pork. You could use pork flank and cut it thinly, soak it overnight in olive oil, oregano, and garlic. And then you want to add salt to it because you need some of that salt in the brine. And you let that soak overnight in that olive oil. And then you take those strips and you layer it on that hanger you formed with a rod going up the middle
And how long are these
until
strips?
it tops. 7-8 inches long. And you layer them on top of each other until it creates a cone. And then you put that cone on your smoker at 350 until it hits 160 in the middle. And then shave it off into pitas and throw a little tzatziki sauce,
Yum.
which is just basically sour cream. And I use sour cream and Greek yogurt. Grate a little bit of cucumber in there and some more garlic. You can't go wrong with garlic. And throw that on a pita that you've heated up on the grill. And that really is, that's what
Yum.
I bring when I go
Sounds
to
delicious.
a barbecue and I
We've-
have something to bring to a barbecue.
We've had your Euro tower, and you were a hero for making the Euro tower.
A Euro hero.
Yeah.
Look at that.
You certainly were.
No, I do like that very much. We're going to save Chef Lawton's for coming up here, but I want to talk about one subject that's intriguing to me. Something that's interesting to me is that the only way you can really hunt anywhere in the summer is if you do it on a game preserve. Game preserves throughout the country, and we've got them in Wisconsin, and they're in surrounding states. Throughout the country, when you hunt at a game preserve, you can do it during the summertime because they don't have to follow the same seasons. And game preserves allow people a very kind of safe or controlled environment.
Okay,
So,
question right off the bat.
yeah.
Why do they not have to follow the same? Well, I know they don't have to follow our deer seasons and everything, but aren't there like a breeding season for them or
Sure,
like a few
sure.
months where they can't hunt?
and it's up to them. But if you ever see, for example, you see on the wall a deer that's in velvet, which is a really neat harvest,
Yes.
and you're still able to get the meat. And that is one of the cool things. Texas, for example, has got a ton of game farms that you are able to hunt everything from sheep to hogs to deer. And you can hunt during the summer. So if you're having an inkling or a desire to have wild game in the summertime, you can seek out those type of places. And I just think they really fill a niche for the new hunter. And in Wisconsin, there are pheasant ranches.
Yep.
There are deer ranches that you can hunt. Throughout the year. Of course, it's up to them. They don't run dogs in the summertime because it's too hot for the
yes.
dogs to run after pheasants. So they'll do that based on, weather specificities. But I really think, and to be fair, I work with the Whitetails of Wisconsin and the Wisconsin Game Preserve Association. We don't talk a bunch on the show about that, but these are really some great opportunities to learn about the outdoors and to try it your first time in a really controlled environment. So
I have something to add.
yeah,
So I have participated in high fence hunting
sure.
when it was warmer out. And what I found was it was cheaper for me to harvest that animal and haul it back home than it was to go to the store or purchase that meat anywhere else. So I ended up with a freezer full of meat for maybe half the cost it would have costed if I went to a butcher to get it done.
I couldn't
And
agree
I got
with
to
you more.
harvest the animal that was living a fantastic life out in huge fields in the woods and harvest that animal ethically and take the meat home.
And that's just something fantastic to do it. I know I can say for certain when I go to visit my girls in college in Baylor at Baylor University, there are places that will let you come and hunt a hog of any size. You know, they've got wild hogs out there, but then they've got high fence hog hunting too. You can hunt and harvest a hog for around $300. Very often you'll end up with 250 pounds of meat from that hog.
Delicious
Wow.
meat
Of
too.
delicious meat.
Yeah.
You are never going to go and buy pork at the grocery store for $1.50 a pound. It's not going to happen.
Well, and I think that's what's interesting too, because a lot of people, when they think of high fence hunting, they think dollar signs right away.
Right.
And how expensive it is, right? To
Yep.
do
Right.
anything like that. When you put it in perspective, just like you said, Ellie, hey, for me to fill my freezer, this
Yes.
was cheaper
Yeah.
than for me to
Absolutely.
buy it.
Absolutely. And you get the
Absolutely.
experience too. And it's great for newer hunters as well to go out and be in a safe, secure area, maybe with a guide. Some of it is not guided or it's self-guided. So what a great experience for new hunters or for families to get out there and experience the outdoors. Do something fun while you're putting food in your freezer. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
It really doesn't.
My first deer harvest was in a high fence. I wanted to do that. So one of my things I was terrified about for being a first-time hunter, deer hunter to be specific, with a bow,
Yeah.
is injuring the animal.
Sure.
Yeah.
And
Right.
it just goes off into oblivion, and I'm never going to see it again.
Sure.
And that terrified me. And granted, yes, high fence is still a large area, but I was able to go with a couple guides that a coworker knew, and they took me out there, and it was a nice, easy setting, and you know, they just knew exactly where they were going to be. This specific area, they had a specific area for like new hunters. They called it the like little corner for us, and it was perfect to try it out, and it calmed all my fears.
Yeah, and then you got to go out and hunt outside of high fencing and be more comfortable
Yep.
with your bow and
Exactly.
have a better, more ethical harvest.
Exactly.
I think very often, I think that's a great point, Danielle, and a great story, because very often those people who are maybe afraid to try hunting, you know, on public land for the first time or out by themselves for the first time. And let's be clear, these hunting ranches, many of them are 500 acres, 1,000 acres,
lot.
300 acres.
Yes.
This is not like you're sitting in somebody's backyard hunting.
Right.
It is not like
just
that at all. They have
little
entire
acres.
ecospheres that you're hunting in, and these animals are aware that they are prey. But, you know, to be perfectly fair, I mean, I love farming in Wisconsin, and the farmers supply the food for us. When you go to buy that package of beef or pork and it's wrapped in cellophane at the grocery store, remember that was an animal that was born to be raised, to be slaughtered, to go into the grocery store. When you are at a hunting ranch or a hunting farm, those are animals that are essentially living free their whole life. And then one day you harvest them and do the work to put it on your dinner table. And I will say there is something life-changing about taking a shot on an animal and knowing that you are responsible personally for taking the life of that animal. There is a magnitude of appreciation you have when you put that on the dinner table, when you go through the work to have it butchered, to butcher it yourself, to have it butchered, and you get those steaks and you put them on the dinner table. You understand the cycle of life and the cycle of what that animal has given to nourish you. And I think that it adds to an appreciation for the outdoors. And very many people become hunters in the wild, in the quote wild after that. and they become part of the conservation movement. Hunters in Wisconsin are the largest contributors to conservation and proliferation of species in Wisconsin. So I think that all of these things are good. Now, we're not saying you have to have that be your first hunting experience, but we need the more people who set down the 3-inch by 7-inch cell phone and get out there and do something. And if it includes putting food on the table, I really don't think that there's a much better way to learn about the cycle and circle of life. We live in such a modern, high-tech world, and this takes us really back to our human roots, and that is hunting and gathering and supplying food for us and for our families. So I just think it's something you ought to try to consider. Try to consider the states that do allow hunting during the summer, because I will tell you what, the meat tastes the same in the summer. I can't wait for Chef Lawton's barbecue recipe. You're listening to Raised in Wisco.
You're listening to Civic Media. Find the latest news, information, and archives of all your favorite shows on the Civic Media website, civicmedia.us.
This is Raised in Wisco. I'm Joel Clayfish. Spent my entire life in Wisconsin, except for a couple little stints outstate for college and one little job in TV. But I'm back, and I couldn't be happier, because Wisconsin really is the center of everything for the outdoors. If you want to do it, you can do it in Wisconsin. Danielle Fairman and I have been hitting the outdoors together for the better part of 2 decades. She and I have been hostesses.
With the mostesses.
I think that I just driven to say hostess because they have the hostess cupcakes and Twinkies.
Oh, that
Oh,
sounds
yeah, I love
delicious.
those.
Why are those so good? Really? I think they're made out of actual sponge, but they're so
Yeah, probably.
Sugar sponges.
that's sugar sponges.
That's my recipe for tonight. Super easy, folks.
That wouldn't surprise me. George Ermert is a frequent contributor to the show, and he's part of the Wisconsin Waterfowl Association's board. We're working on right now a sandhill crane hunting season in the state, which is fascinating. And all that is great stuff to talk about. However, I want to get to the food, and that's why we have Chef Lawton with us today.
You
Can
don't
believe it?
say.
Can you believe it?
I want to talk about food.
Can you believe it? We've
What
been
else do
talking.
I
This
wanna
is where I
talk
go
about?
quiet during the show.
Hey, Danielle, you've clearly been a good listener during
Yeah,
the
I
cooking
have.
segments of the show, because
Thank you
Yes,
to Megan
yeah.
on Facebook. She
Things.
posts
Yes.
only thing that's on Facebook is food recipes.
Yeah,
She's
get
not going to
on
like
there.
us this week.
Get on
She's
there.
going to have a lot
She's
to
gonna have a
post.
lot to post. We've been talking about our favorite things to bring to barbecues, and summertime's no better time to talk about barbecuing in Wisconsin. Although, don't be afraid to barbecue in the winter. I'm just going to
Ooh,
throw
yes.
it out there
Been there,
Please,
done that.
barbecue
It's the
all
greatest
year long.
time.
all year long. So, Chef Lawton, what have you got for us today?
Well, this was a really tricky one for me because I thought we were all going to do one dish, and then my brain started working, and I'm like, well, when I go to a barbecue, I usually roll up with
Bring
the
everything.
meat, the side dish, an appetizer, and a dessert.
I've never, in fact, we've done some things, the groups of us here in the outdoors. I have never seen you show up anywhere without food.
Yeah.
My little Italian mom
multiple food.
would be excited about that, because she says the only thing that kills a party is when the food runs out.
I couldn't agree more. Oh my gosh. So I put the shackles on tonight, and I gave myself 2 of my favorite quick kind of go-to dishes that I will take along to a picnic if I'm told, hey, Ellie, you don't have to bring everything from your kitchen. Or if I'm told, hey, we don't need a wild game feed at the barbecue. So just pump the brakes and bring a dish to pass. So my first dish is a watermelon salad.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever heard of that before.
What?
A watermelon salad?
What? Where have you been?
Yeah.
Well, clearly not. where
Obviously
they
been in
serve
Illinois a
watermelon
lot.
Salads.
So watermelon salad, very easy. You cube up a fresh watermelon. I usually juice 1 or 2 limes, depending on how big of a salad I'm making. Over the watermelon, I add feta cheese and mint leaves. Sometimes I get crazy and I will add cilantro in it
So I never had it with
and
cilantro.
cucumbers.
I have.
So very,
sounds
very
really good.
easy.
It
I
is
mean,
good. My sister makes like the same thing.
I
yeah,
don't
the
know.
watermelon
sucker
feta
for
thing is
ramen.
pretty popular. But over the years, I've played with it. And
Ooh, pick me.
What's wrong, Danielle? What do you got?
I feel like this should be a little sidebar situation because all the recipes I should pair with alcohol. Because
Danielle wants to spike the watermelon first. I can tell. She wants to spike the watermelon.
Okay, so if you'd like
hole in the
Danielle's
top.
version, get your pineapple or your watermelon drunk.
yes, it goes with
I'm
the
thinking the
mint leaves.
Oh my
pineapple.
gosh, that is
Okay,
so funny.
gosh, Danielle.
Yes,
That
get your
is so
watermelon
funny.
drunk first.
Yes.
And you have your mint leaves.
Yes, so you could do
Kinda
like
like a
you
mojito
could do a
situation.
mojito watermelon salad. Yes,
Yes.
you could.
Oh, done.
Yeah. So
You're
mine
welcome.
didn't have booze in it. Just want everybody to know that. I'm not a huge drinker, so I did not put booze in mine. My second recipe, gosh, Danielle, you make me laugh, is my buffalo chicken dip, but I use wild game.
Oh,
So when I take it to a barbecue, you guys have seen me roll up with my own pans and such.
Yes.
Yes.
we sure
So
have.
I do that with this
she
dip.
brings a commercial kitchen with her when she shows up.
You're not joking.
I'm not joking.
Joel is 100% serious.
Yes.
So you can, in the winter, I've made this for parties just in a crock pot. Start it in the morning, let it cook all afternoon. But for summer barbecues, because there's always a grill or a black stone going, I take my cast iron pan. I will pre-shred some wild game. So anything is good in this. And you can, of course, use chicken. The original recipe is with chicken, right? We've all had buffalo chicken dip. But I really like it with pheasant or goose or even shredded venison. So you
Ooh.
kind of get that more like meaty, like red meat
Hearty.
flavor in it. Yeah.
Could you combine that recipe with Joel's recipe with on the spit?
Well, Danielle, I don't know how
Like
you
how
put
you
the,
gonna
the shredded meat on
You
this.
could shave it off.
Yeah,
But you
isn't that
could-
what you
probably.
do with your stuff?
You could. Yes. So this is very easy. I do about a block of cream cheese, full fat cream cheese. Don't use the reduced fat. Some really good Wisconsin sharp cheddar cheese. And then I also put blue cheese in it. And then I do a little bit of sour cream. Again, you can, like I always say, measure with your heart. And then I use right wing sauce. So shout out to Provider and Joel Clayfish for making right wing sauce.
Oh, thank you.
Or you can use the, what is it even called? The buffalo sauce. I don't know what the popular ones
Frank's?
are. Frank's or Sweet Baby Ray's. They have a good
Sweet
one.
Baby Ray's.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can use that. You throw it on the pan and you let it all melt, and it is delicious.
Wow, that sounds good.
Serve it with celery, some more blue cheese, some veggies, some warm pitas. It's a good time.
And now I am extremely hungry. Check out our Facebook. You can see those recipes. Listen to the show. If you miss it, check out Spotify and all the other places you can hear it. For George Ermert, Danielle Fairman, Chef Ellie Lawton, I'm Joel Clayfish. We'll see you next week on Raised in Wisco.
The national news cycle never stops, but it can be hard to find news about your local community. Civic Media is dedicated to providing quality local and state news coverage across Wisconsin. With the Civic Media app, you can get notifications about local stories that matter to you and your community. Find the free Civic Media app in your phone's app store and choose notifications from the menu to tell us what kind of news you want to hear about.